Happy Friday to ya. Happy Friday to ya. Happy Friday. Hello, Bible scholars. That's you. If you clicked on this video, a review of Judges, you're a Bible scholar. And I'm here for it. My name is Taneza. I'm the mom of 3 fun kids living in the heart of New York City on an adventure to read through the Bible this year in 2023. I would love for you to become a member of my YouTube family, my tribe. All you have to do is hit that button down below, the one that says subscribe. I'm moving a little bit faster than usual, you guys. We have a lot to get through. And I really want to keep this to one video, so that way when you forward it to your friends and family, you only have to forward 1 video and not 2. All my returning Bible scholars, hey, you know I heart you guys. And I thank you for your support. There's a bus, sorry guys. I am in New York for real. All right, let's get down to business. I will be reading from the NIV, but whatever translation you have, stick with it. If you do not have a Bible, no worries. I'll put every verse on the screen. Also, for all of my new Bible scholars, please do not feel like you're behind. You're not. You can always binge watch my videos, or you can just meet me where we are on this adventure. All right, let's get started. Today's video is a review of Judges, chapters 9, 10, 11, and 12. Chapter 9. Abimelech, son of Gideon, and his concubine went to his uncles in Shechem. I wanted to read verse 2 of chapter 9. Abimelech says, "Ask all the citizens of Shechem, which is better for you, to have all 70 of Jerubaal's sons rule over you, or just one man? Remember, I am your flesh and blood." Remember, Bible scholars, in, I believe it's chapter 8, verse 30. Yes, it says that Gideon had 70 sons and many wives. So those are the sons that Abimelech is referring to. His uncles, reminder, his mother's brothers, the concubine, not Gideon, his mother's brothers, asked the people of Shechem. They decide to follow Abimelech. I wanted to read for you verse 4. They gave him 70 shekels of silver from the temple of Baal-berith, and Abimelech used it to hire reckless adventurers who became his followers. Abimelech then went to his father Gideon's land, Ophrah, and killed all 70 of his brothers. But his youngest, I guess you can call him half-brother, Gideon's youngest son, Jotham, escaped by hiding. Then the people of Shechem crowned Abimelech king. Verse 7, when Jotham was told about this, he climbed up to the top of Mount Gerizim and shouted to them, "Listen to me, citizens of Shechem, so that God may listen to you." He then goes into different parables about different trees. Verses 16 and 17. Again, this is Jotham, the youngest son of Gideon, the half-brother of Abimelech, saying, verse 16, "Now, if ye have acted honorably and in good faith when you made Abimelech king, if you have been fair to Jerubbaal and his family, and if you have treated him as he deserves," verse 17, "and to think that my father fought for you, risked his life to rescue you from the hand of Midian." Jotham tells them, if the people of Shechem have not acted honorably, may fire consume both them and Abimelech. Jotham fled. He's fearful of his brother Abimelech. Abimelech ruled Israel for 3 years. I wanted to read for you guys verse 23. God sent an evil spirit between Abimelech and the citizens of Shechem, who acted treacherously against Abimelech. God wanted the death of Gideon's 70 sons to be avenged. Verse 26, now Gaal, son of Ebed, moved with his brothers into Shechem, and its citizens put their confidence in him. He asks, "Who is Abimelech? Why are we subject to him? Shouldn't they be serving the men of Hamor? If I were in charge," he says, "I would get rid of Abimelech." Zebul, the governor of the city, heard what Gaal, son of Ebed, was saying, made him very angry. Verses 31, 32, and 33. Verse 31, undercover he sent messengers to Abimelech saying, "Gaal, son of Ebed, and his brothers have come to Shechem and are stirring up the city against you." Verse 32, "Now then, during the night, you and your men should come and lie in wait in the fields." Verse 33, "In the morning at sunrise, advance against the city. When Gaal and his men come out against you, do whatever your hand finds to do." Verses 39 through 51 recount the fighting between Abimelech and the citizens of Shechem. After capturing Thebez, it says in verse 50, Abimelech went to Thebez and besieged it and captured it. The people of Thebez climbed up on the roof of a strong tower inside the city and locked themselves in. Verse 52, Abimelech went to that tower and stormed it. But as he approached the entrance to the tower to set it on fire, verse 53, a woman dropped an upper millstone on his head and cracked his skull. Abimelech told his armor bearer to draw his sword and kill him so that a woman would not get credit for killing him. The servant did so. Abimelech died. And chapter 9 ends with verses 56 and 57. Verse 56, thus God repaid the wickedness that Abimelech had done to his father by murdering his 70 brothers. Verse 57, God also made the men of Shechem pay for all of their wickedness. The curse of Jotham, son of Jerubbaal, came on them. I'm telling you guys, action-packed. I have never read Judges before, and I don't even know why, because it's action-packed. Chapter 10. This chapter recounts the leaders of Israel. After Abimelech, named Tola, led Israel for 23 years. Then Jair of Gilead led Israel for 22 years. He had 30 sons. I wanted to read verse 6. Again, the Israelites did evil in the eyes of the Lord. They served the Baals and the Ashtoreths and the god of Aram, the gods of Sidon, the gods of Moab, the gods of the Ammonites, and the gods of the Philistines. And because the Israelites forsook the Lord and no longer served them, he became angry with the Israelites' disobedience. The Lord sold them into the hands of the Philistines and the Ammonites for 18 years. What happened next, Bible scholars? What happened next, Bible scholars? The Israelites cry out to the Lord. We have sinned against you by serving the Baals. I want to read verses 11, 12, and 13. The Lord replied, when the Egyptians, the Amorites, the Ammonites, the Philistines, 12, the Sidonians, the Amalekites, and the Maonites oppressed you, and you cried to me for help, did I not save you from their hands? Verse 13, but you have forsaken me and served other gods, so I will no longer save you. Verse 14, go and cry out to the gods you have chosen. Let them save you when you are in trouble. The Israelites tell the Lord that they have sinned, and they give the Lord permission to do whatever he wants with them. Just please rescue them now. The Israelites threw away their foreign gods. The last 3 verses of the chapter, verse 16, then they got rid of their foreign gods among them and served the Lord. He could bear Israel's misery no longer. I mean, he loved his people. Verse 17, when the Ammonites were called to arms and camped in Gilead, the Israelites assembled and camped at Mizpah. Verse 18, the leaders of the people at Gilead said to each other, whoever will launch the attack against the Ammonites will be the head of all those living in Gilead. chapter 11, we meet Jephthah the Gileadite. He was a mighty warrior. His father was Gilead. His mother was a prostitute. Gilead's wife also had sons. When these sons became adults, they drove Jephthah away as he was illegitimate and would not receive any of the inheritance left by their father. So they're half brothers again. I wanted to read for you verse 3 of chapter 11. So Jephthah fled from his brothers and settled in the land of Tob, where a group of adventurers gathered around him and followed him. The Ammonites made war on Israel. The elders of Gilead went to Jephthah. Remember in verse 1, it said that he was a mighty warrior. Verse 6, come, they said, be our commander so we can fight the Ammonites. Jephthah reminded them that he was hated. He was driven out from his father's house. Even so, the elders of Gilead need Jephthah. If he will help them fight the Ammonites, he will be the leader of Gilead. Jephthah questions that they will keep their word. The elders confirm their word. Jephthah is made head and commander. Jephthah sent messengers to the Ammonite king asking, why have they attacked his country? I wanted to read for you verse 13. King of the Ammonites answered Jephthah's messengers. When Israel came out of Egypt, they took away my land from the Arnon to the Jabbok, all the way to the Jordan. Now give it back peacefully. Jephthah said that Israel did not take Moab or land of the Ammonites. Jephthah explains that God helped Israel take the land from the Amorites. Then Ammon took the land of the Amorites as their own. Jephthah asked, is this right? And for all you new Bible scholars, my husband gifted me this Bible in 2006 when we were dating. We're married now. And so I like to read all of the verses that he has underlined. So I'm going to go ahead and read these verses. I'm going to read verses 29 through 40. So Jephthah asks, is this right? The king of Ammon, however, paid no attention. Verse 29, then the Spirit of the Lord came upon Jephthah. He crossed Gilead and Manasseh, passed through Mizpah of Gilead, and from there he advanced against the Ammonites. Verse 30, Jephthah made a vow to the Lord. He said, if you give the Ammonites into my hands, verse 31, whatever comes out of the door of my house to meet me when I return in triumph from the Ammonites will be the Lord's, and I will sacrifice it as a burnt offering. Then Jephthah went over to fight the Ammonites, and the Lord gave them into his hands. Verse 33, he devastated 20 towns from Aroer to the vicinity of Minnith, as far as Abel Keramim. Thus Israel subdued Ammon. 34, when Jephthah returned to his home in Mizpah, who should come out to meet him but his daughter, dancing to the sound of tambourines. She was an only child. Except for her, he had neither son nor daughter. Verse 35, when he saw her, he tore his clothes and cried, oh, my daughter, you have made me miserable and wretched because I have made a vow to the Lord that I cannot break. Verse 36, my father, she replied, you have given your word to the Lord. Do to me just as you promised, now that the Lord has avenged you of your enemies, the Ammonites. Verse 37, but grant me this one request, she said. Give me 2 months to roam the hills and weep with my friends, because I will never marry. Verse 38, you may go, he said, and he let her go for 2 months. She and the girls went into the hills and wept because she would never marry. Verse 39, after the 2 months, she returned to her father. He did to her as he had vowed, and she was a virgin. From this comes the Israelite custom, verse 40, that each year the young women of Israel go out for 4 days to commemorate the daughter of Jephthah the Gileadite. Oof, it's powerful. I am just inspired by his pure obedience in doing what he said that he would do. But it's still sad. Chapter 12. Jephthah and Ephraim. The men of Ephraim told Jephthah they are going to burn his house since he fought the Ammonites without calling them. Verse 2 and verse 3. Jephthah answered, I and my people were engaged in a great struggle with the Ammonites, and although I called, you did not save me out of their hands. Verse 3. When I saw that you wouldn't help, I took my life in my hands and crossed over to fight the Ammonites. The Lord gave me the victory over them. Now why have you come up today to fight me? Jephthah summons the men of Gilead. They fight Ephraim. The Gileadites beat them. The Gileadites capture the fords of the Jordan River. Whenever a survivor of Ephraim wanted to cross over the Jordan River, they made him pronounce Shibboleth. When they mispronounced it, they were killed. Look, a test. 42,000 Ephraimites were killed. Jephthah led Israel for 6 years. After he died, Ibzan led Israel for 7 years. After he died, Elon led Israel for 10 years. When he passed, Abdon led Israel for 8 years. All right. That was so much fun, Bible scholars. I think we're gonna get it into one video. I hope that you, no. Before I say goodbye, please, I love comments. Please feel free to comment any questions, any comments, any revelations. I respond to every single comment. I do, and I love doing it. I look forward to, I'm like, oh, the bell has a little, when I open my YouTube app, the little bell has a notification. I love it. And I try to get to them as soon as I see them, right? All right. I hope that you have a fantastic weekend. Let's go Duke. They play tomorrow against Tennessee. But back to the word. The review on Monday. Not sure if I told you at the beginning of this review. I upload 3 reviews per week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and we cover 4 chapters per review. So Monday's review will be of chapters 13, 14, 15, and 16, and I am so excited. All about Samson. I'm so here for it. 13, 14, 15, and 16. Wow, you guys. Wednesday, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Friday. You guys, we're gonna finish Judges next week. Whoa! We're gonna finish Judges next week and get to Ruth. Guys, if you haven't decided already if you're gonna take part in this journey, just say yes, because we are churning through these, you guys, these books of the Bible. Shocking and exciting how quickly we are reading these books of the Bible, and I'm just so thankful. All right, Bible scholars, I hope that you will choose to subscribe, you will choose to join us on this adventure, and you will choose to have an amazing weekend. I will see you in our next review. Bye for now.